What is up? Welcome back to the podcast. Just letting you know, for the first 18 minutes there is no video because the camera died and then it corrupted the file. So I didn't want to do it again. That would be weird if I just said the same things again. So enjoy this gorilla eating an apple on mute while I talk about my week for the first 18 minutes, and then the video's all good after then. Apologies, but yeah, we're not sure what happened. Anyway, enjoy the podcast. Clap them hands, boy. Yeah. Leave it in. Yep. Leave it in. Fuck 'em, leave it in. Welcome back to Luke. That's pretty rude, starting the episode with fuck 'em. Leave it in. Welcome back to the Luke Kidgell Hour, but first, we groove.
Somewhere on the sea.
Trying to sing it, I was like,
It got a little longer, so it seems. I burned out, so to speak.
Sorry, for audio listeners, I was throwing in some, I guess, what do we call it? Adventurous moves that, I guess Reese couldn't handle, is the only way to say it. The camera is lopsided today. Am I going to fix it? Nah, probably not. Only about a third of the people watch on audio, so I'm only really pissing off 33% of people. Yeah. 0.33. 33333. So, recurring. That's how a third works of 100. And all right, to start the hour off, it's with Kelsey's sound effect. Kelsey, thanks for sending it in. You can send in your podcast sound effects at lukekidgellpodcast@gmail.com. To start the hour today, we have this from Kelsey.
ooh, a button.
I don't understand the reference.
Whatever.
You're like, I just thought I'd play it. Didn't get it. Seemed pretty fun. Ooh, a button. Sound off if you know what that's from. I'm assuming a movie quote or something. But yeah, great. Interesting. So the reason why the camera's wonky, first off, is because I can't take control of my possessions. We went to Adelaide on the weekend, which was great. We'll get into that. And I left my tripod there, which I owned for a day and didn't use once. I went to JB Hi-Fi on Friday, or what day did we leave? Wednesday, Thursday? Who knows?
Thursday we left.
Okay, so I went there on Wednesday, and I bought a brand new suitcase so it fit the skateboards. That's how committed to skating interstate I am. I bought a crazy big suitcase. I bought my skateboard into the store. I was a 25-year-old man walking around my local shopping center with a skateboard, and people were looking at me. I saw a friend of mine who was there. They were like, why are you holding a skateboard? You don't skate. And I was like, well, firstly, that's where you're wrong. I shred now. Secondly, I'm not just being a little, shopping plaza rat with my skateboard. I'm actually here to measure it in a suitcase. So I'm in strand bags with my skateboard, trying suitcases of which one my skateboard will fit in like a child. And then I bought one. And then I bought a new tripod, and we took it to Adelaide, and I left it at the venue. So today we have a stool, we have a mini keyboard, a half slab of beers. This is all the boxes that are holding up the tripod. A medical dictionary, that's definitely not mine, probably Meg's. And a random box, and also a gold class voucher to help correct the slight lean on the camera because the beers are quite wonky. Who would have thought getting beers wasn't perhaps the best choice? But great to be back, guys. Hope you're well. Adelaide was sick. 3 shows in one night. They all sold out before we even got on the plane, which was crazy. So lukekidgell.com, Newcastle has sold out. At the moment, there are 7 tickets left to Wagga. There's only like 40 tickets left to Albury. Dude, every single show on the tour pretty much is sold out, which is crazy. So thank you. I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting this, but I guess we just got to thank the TikTok gods for supplying my videos into their algorithm full of teeny boppers, and occasionally some come to my show, which is great. Wasn't too many young people in Adelaide, actually. Adelaide was, I actually at the 5 p.m. show.
Yeah, the 5 p.m. was, yeah.
There was a few.
Like the rest of the shows were a mix.
Yeah, The 9 p.m. show, I was surprised. Most people are like older than me. I was like, damn, where do I find these people? But it was great, man. So much fun. That 9 p.m. show was probably like the best show I've ever done in Adelaide. So thanks to everyone who came out. All the shows were great. And LukeKidgell.com. Up next, we have Albury and Wagga. As I said, not many tickets left. And then we go to Wollongong. That's on a Wednesday. There's still a fair few tickets left. It's on a Wednesday, so please come. And then we have Sydney, 2 shows. They're almost filling up. I think one's like pretty much 75% full, so getting quick. I don't think I'll be adding another one. And then we hopefully will add another Newcastle because that's already sold out. So very cool. The other dates are still being locked in. I know I've been saying that for ages, but it takes a long time to organize these things. So first and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. Guys, I need your help. If you're a listener to this podcast, sometimes I come to you for help. Often, I'm here for you guys, answering people's emails, giving life advice. Today, I need you guys to return the favor. I need a new catchphrase. It's that simple. I am floating between bullshit after bullshit catchphrase. I'll try some stuff. Reese will just be like, nope, that's not happening. No. I'll give you a history of my catchphrases. I think it started off where, and by the way, these aren't like, I don't have like a catchphrase kind of like that means nothing. It's usually something I say instead of saying yes. I usually substitute things instead of saying yes, okay, or no worries, or cool. Like when you're replying to someone, yeah, cool. I alternate things in that realm. So in the past, I racked. I think how it started was I copied Troy of Community, which is Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. I copied his character's catchphrase, or is it Abed? He goes cool. I think it's Abed of Community actually, and I think I was doing that for a bit where I was like cool. And then I moved into sicketh. Sicketh my dudeth was, I reckon, kicking around my vocabulary for about 2 years. I'm pretty sad to say. Between like 2018 and 2020. Actually, up until recently.
Yeah.
And then I'm very, very sad to admit that of late, I think this started early comedy festival. I have regularly started saying, and at this point it's involuntary. I cannot stop it. I have an impulse to just say it all the time. Reese will be like, oh, I got that done. And I will reply with, that is epic, cool, and lit. Now, I know. Don't worry. You don't have to tell me. I know that's not acceptable for anyone to say, let alone an adult with half a brain. I'm not going to give myself credit for a full one, a fully developed one, but I'm going to say I'm above that. But apparently I'm not. I think hypothetically in a perfect world, I'm above that. But in reality, I'm absolutely not. And so during the week, I've been trialing some new ones. None of them have stuck. One popular one, one that I thought was good that Reese and Meg both just stamped out immediately was no worries, rad lad. like they just say something, I go, rad lad. Don't like that one.
Okay.
Well, I just need your help, guys. What can I do as a catchphrase? Right? I do like rhyming. I'm not going to lie. This only works if you are around a pool, but cool pool I would do. Yeah. If you dribbled, I'd say cool drool for sure. I do like rhyming. That's why I like sicketh my dude.
I reckon you should have stuck with sicketh.
You started using sicketh.
Yeah.
It rubs off on people. This is the problem with all our garbage, where it's either with Luke and Lewis or those boys. For our years we're saying my name Jeff, and then there's just egg. We're just screaming egg at each other. It's so addictive it's so hard to stop. And I bet now there'll be some people who listen to this podcast who adopt sicketh into their natural vocabulary. Here's my warning before you do. Pros, it's fun as hell and it's great. Cons, everyone in your life will hate it. Everyone. Unless they start doing it. It's kind of like being a zombie. You know, it's like sucks unless you are one. You know, it's like, oh, fuck off. And then as soon as you become one, you're like, oh, sicketh, you know, my dudeth. And then you try and eat someone. That's how it ends. So don't do it. But also, you know, if you want to just let go and, you know, and if you have no impulse control like me, I would recommend Sicketh. Go over and comment on the YouTube version, you know, or send us a DM, send us an email, lukekidgellpodcast@gmail.com with your catchphrase suggestions, because epic, lit, and cool cannot continue. I've almost said it in an email the other day to a venue. Like they were like, yeah, it's all sorted, and I wrote out epic, lit, and cool, and then I went, this is work, business, and I went and backspace that shit and went, no worries, thank you. But I like to think the people at Albury Sound and Lighting would have enjoyed epic, lit, and cool. They would have been like, man, because they love lights. They would have been like, well, it will be epic. There will be lights, so it will be lit. And we're pretty cool. So, new catchphrase suggestions. Do you have any? Because you've been poo-pooing a lot of attempts, but not giving me any suggestions, Reese.
No.
You know? So maybe, like, you know, if you're not going to come up with any constructive feedback, maybe just you get off the deal.
I say hectic a lot around my mates.
You do say hectic a lot. You
I say hectic.
Yeah, hectic. Reese and I have this other weird thing. It's not a catchphrase. It's more of like a catch hand gesture. Every time, it's like this unspoken thing. We do it on tour all the time. Even if we're in conversations with other people, we just walk up to each other, or we're drunk at a bar. We just like double rock hands it to each other. We just go like, and then it's the rule that the other person has to reciprocate the rock on hand gesture. Are essentially just doing like emojis in real life. That's where our communication has got to on tour, where we're just going to start doing emojis to each other, you know, just in the street, just like P-face. So, new catchphrase suggestions, send them in. I'm in a fucking crisis at the moment with that, and I need your help. Adelaide was great, man. I almost took down a whole airline. I know that sounds bad. I know that sounds like an act of terrorism. It wasn't. It was with a bag strap, not a bomb or anything. None of that. It was just, I almost took down Virgin Airways again. They went under last year due to COVID. I came back with a vengeance. Someone bought them out, almost fucking got them back under. So what happened was, we have the camera bag because we film all the shows, and it's quite a strap-heavy bag. Straps for days. You could take this thing hiking. It's got that many straps on it. We're talking click-in straps, Velcro straps, bag straps, other straps that I'm not even sure are necessary for the bag. I'm not joking here. I'm not even exaggerating. I think Reese will agree. I think there's 10 plus straps.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
On that bag. It is hectic. It is epic, lit, and cool. It's epic, lit, and straps. What about, Nah, I was trying to think of one. I don't know, like, what's the haps, straps? No, what am I doing? this is the problem. I'm in a crisis. I've been desperately trying to come up with a catchphrase. And when you try and come up with a catchphrase, it's awful, you know, because you just end up saying things that you think could be cool. Or then it's, you know, you say stuff like, I don't know. I don't know. I've just been saying random shit like, beat it, bastard. You know? Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, only applies if you don't have a dad. You know? So, again, that was terrible. That was awful. I hated it. So anyway, I'll continue telling the story, but please keep leaving your catchphrase. I want you guys to be half-assed listening to the rest of the podcast. Half your brain on the podcast, half your brain just churning over catchphrase ideas while listening. Or even just pause the podcast for a minute, have a think, then re-listen. And so I'm going through the baggage area, right? You know, like check-in baggage. It's going on the conveyor belt. You do the little touchscreen thing that goes, and then usually falls onto the conveyor belt, and then it goes away. Which, by the way, I always wonder where the bags go. It's probably just a room, but God,
yeah,
half of me wants to just jump on the conveyor belt, you know, because we've all seen Toy Story 2, and it looked like a hell of a ride there. and I just want to go through the flaps. That's all I want, is to just see what's behind the flaps where the bags go through. But I don't have the funds to cop the fine, which is pretty annoying. But maybe that's what I'll do when I get rich. I'll just finally in my life enter some flaps, Reese. Sorry, that was immature. The straps get caught. One of the 10 straps get caught in the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt starts going just trying to move, and we're freaking out. Then it just goes error, and then the light turns from green to red, which is never good. I've never seen a red light on them. And then a couple of people come over from the Virgin staff and go, "Is this your bag?" I'm like, "Yes." And by the way, just before this, Meg has told me, "Hey, tuck the straps in, it'll get caught." And I'm like, "Don't be ridiculous." I'm like, "It's not going to get caught." I've never seen it get caught. And then I go to the lady, I'm like, "Oh, this probably never happens." She goes, "No, this happens all the time." Right, but she goes, "Not this bad." And then this other guy comes over, and all it takes is someone to crawl into the bag carousel a meter and just unclip it, and it's off.
Yeah.
This one bag was holding up the airline for 15 minutes, right? People start queuing up. There's people who are late for their flights going, "Can I just go in and get it? I'll just go in and get it." And the people are like, "You're not allowed to go in. We have to wait for someone to come up from the tarmac," or whatever. I'm sitting there going, "Oh, fuck." And then like these airport announcements start going, could worker please come to the check baggage? We have a problem in check baggage 187. We have an issue. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God." Like they're going to start reading out my name. Like, Luke Kidgell is a dickhead. This Luke Kidgell didn't listen to his girlfriend. We have an error because he is a dumbass. Like, and everyone knew it was me. And they're all looking at it, and Reese and Meg and Ruben are standing next to me, not wanting to associate. We're half filming it. Actually, we put in the footage. Yeah, we're half filming it for the vlog, but trying to film it sus because there's like 30 people going, "Good on you, dickhead." Right? And then the flight attendant's like, "It's okay, it's fine." But really, she's fucking furious because now I probably made the next half an hour of her life hell as they tried to catch up on the queue that we created.
Yeah.
It stopped the whole baggage line. So because my one stopped, the entire conveyor belt at the airport stopped.
Other bags
Other bags started building up and smashing into our bags, and then they eventually turned off the conveyor belt. But when it was one of those things that was like when it was building up, these suitcases were going bang, 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 all into our camera bag. Our camera bag's just getting battered, and the strap's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and it's getting more jammed. Oh, the camera died. Alrighty, guys, we're back. Fixed the camera. Still got a hectic lean. We're just gonna ignore it. All right, we can fix it in post. Don't leave it in. Fuck them. But yeah, man. So I took down an airline. Pretty embarrassing. It wasn't a great start to the trip, but the rest of the Adelaide trip was good. Everyone told me to check out this new fat bird in the mall. They built a big metal pigeon. So Adelaide are known for them big, glorious, girthy, meaty mall balls, which I enjoy caressing every year. Nothing makes me more moist than heading to Rundle Mall and having a big fondle of those bad boys. But when I'm done with that, this year everyone was like, "Mate, when you're done caressing the shit out of those balls, head to this fat pigeon." And I'm kind of looking down the middle. I don't know if you've ever been to Rundle Mall, but for those who haven't, most of these arty ornaments there are running through the middle of the mall. Not this pigeon. They've just shoved it in the corner. The first day, I think we walked past it. I didn't even realize. It's just over in the corner. I got a flick next to it. Everyone, because, I know there's still a lot of Peter Pigeon, Fat Bird fans kicking around from the early days of this podcast, which is great to see. So people really wanted to see me next to that fat bird, and all I'm going to say is underwhelming, to say the least. If Adelaide was a statue, just not much going on. Lovely, nice, good once, but at the end of the day, they really captured the city spirit in a statue there, which was a lot of hype, or actually not much hype, and still under delivered. But other than that, Adelaide was sick. Adelaide's just like that type of place where we were in an Airbnb in the city, and we could see another apartment building opposite that had balconies all up it. So you could just see people hanging out on their balconies all day. And I'm not joking. about 5 people the first day we were there spent the entire day sitting on their balcony smoking bongs. If that is not the most Adelaide thing of all time, then I don't know what is. I'm just 5 people for 8 hours.
Yeah.
There was this one guy who actually didn't move the entire weekend. We were there for 4 days. I saw him not on his balcony once because I think he just went to shit. And then he went back to his balcony and just kept punching bongs all day. It was honestly impressive. I was like, how are you not bored of your balcony? But he was loving life. He was hanging out. He's washing. I felt like I was, at the zoo, which we did go to the Adelaide Zoo, but we also went to Adelaide, which is a bit of a zoo anyway, because this bloke was a fucking animal, mate. He just went for days on end. He's listening to his tunes. He was really living the life. Good luck to him. But that's just like the most Adelaide shit ever. We did go to the real zoo. I'd never been to Adelaide Zoo before. They got pandas there. One of them's called Wang Wang, which is hilarious. And look, there were a few people around me. I wasn't the only one that was skeptical of if the pandas were real or not. They were sleeping when we were there. I did see it move, but, I've also seen mechanical dinosaurs before. So, the zookeepers has to stand out there in the foyer bit of the people who, because the pandas is like definitely the big attraction at the Adelaide Zoo. And the zookeepers have to stand out there in the foyer to kind of boost morale so people can't really talk shit about it. Because I lean into Reese. I was like, that thing looks like a rug, because it was just this panda. It was hilarious, right? We can put in the video, but for audio listeners, imagine lying on the edge of your bed face first, right? With your arms hanging down the side of the bed and your face drooping and just sleeping on your front. Kind of like how when you see animal rugs with a head on it, how they're just kind of like sprawled on the ground like that. That's what this panda did the entire time. Just slept on its front like that. And I think the zookeeper heard me comparing it to a rug. And then she was like, oh, a lot of people think they're asleep, but I can assure you they're real. And I was like, do they really just pay you $25 an hour to come out here?
She just said to reassure people that
just to reassure people that the pandas are alive and well. And I very loudly said, she goes, he's asleep. And I was like, yeah, well, he's sleeping like he doesn't want to wake up. Dude, I don't know about zoos. I like the animals, and I get that they do great stuff for conservation and stuff like that. But the actual animals in the zoo really making a sacrifice for the work they do outside of it. Like, I don't know. Something about it, seeing an animal in a box just doesn't sit well with me, which is weird because, I'll happily eat a steak. I don't know what it's a weird thing. It's like seeing it is weird. They all just I'll be honest, a lot of the animals looked a little depressed. Or maybe I just don't know how to view panda emotion. Maybe it was living the dream. I have no idea. It was asleep, hard to tell. There was one that kind of woke up as we were there and it moved its leg and everyone cheered.
Did a bit of a man spread.
Yeah, it did. It just spread its shit. It kind of woke up, did a bit of a yawn, and then spread its shit, and then people started clapping. I have to do jokes and really, commit to a bit to get a clap on stage. Mate, imagine just waking up, spreading your legs, and then just being called Wang Wang, and everyone's like, wow. That's great. And then there's a whole gift shop full of mini plush toys of you that everyone's fucking buying. It was a pretty easy life being a panda. It was pretty much all the zoo was really just going through seeing the Kung Fu Panda cast of the Furious 5 and extended characters. Really, there was red pandas. There was a Master Shifu there. There was a Master Oogway. We saw the turtles. Yeah. There was a tigress as well, a female tiger. I didn't see a mantis or a crane, but maybe we did see a crane. I don't know, but it was pretty cool. I don't think I saw his dad. What's his dad's name? I don't know. He likes noodles, that guy. But it was pretty sick. The zoo. There was giraffes there. I don't need to tell you. You guys know what a zoo is, right? I can't just keep listing animals we saw. But yeah, it was. I haven't been to a zoo since I went to Taronga, and not bad. 7 out of 10 day at the zoo. I did a lot of steps on my Fitbit, 15,000 steps. I know that's not very impressive, but for me, that's heaps. And man, I had my first skate fall on the weekend because we bought the skateboards to old Radelaide. We thought we'd shred around instead of Ubering, which was a great call, but completely fucked up my knee. For those watching the video, there's my battle scar right there. Grown man with scabs on his knee. Pretty impressive. Yeah, if you don't know anything about anything, so I guess. So, yeah, that's a thing. I hit the deck pretty hard. Reese saw it. He was behind me. I was overtaking a tradie on the side of the road. Got a little bit ambitious. I thought I could quickly dart around him. Clearly not in my skill level yet. There was some scaffolding. I was going between scaffolding and a tradie, which is almost the most Australian thing to dodge on the street in Adelaide, and completely hit the deck. I'm not sure what happened, but I fell on my knee. A few people from a nearby cafe audibly laughed out loud. So did Reese and Ruben. So really got a lot of support from everyone. It fucking hurt. And I'll be honest, I laughed as well because I was like, damn, I wish if you had done it, I would have pissed myself.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you. But yeah, it made me a lot timid very timid for the next half an hour of skating. I really took it easy for a bit, but I've since regained my confidence on the board. And Reese kind of yells, "Oh, what happened?" And I go, "Oh, I was trying to overtake the tradie guy." And he turns around and goes, "Don't blame me." Right? He's like, "I'm taking none of the blame here." And I was like, "Oh shit!" No, so I'm getting laughed at. No one else is taking the blame. So eventually I have to be like, guys, I fucked up. So, yeah, I had a tumble, but I'm like, I'm the human version of Chumbawamba, dude. I get knocked down and I get up again. And that's how we do it here. All right. You don't let a little spill, ruin your future skateboarding career. Okay. One tumble's not going to get me out of the game, dude. I'm a broken leg might, a trip to the hospital for sure. I'll reconsider it, but not a scab. You'll have to take more than a scab, so bring it on, gravity. What else you got? I can take a fall, I can take a hit, and I will keep getting up again. So, yeah, the event, getting back to the shows, dude, someone goes to me out in the meet and greet. They're like, man, you look different in real life. And I was like, oh, how so? They go, tired. They just look at my face and they go, you look like shit, bro. That's the difference. But and I think that's unfair because I think I look like shit online as well. So I think that's a bit unfair saying that I look worse in real life, guys. I think I look consistently shit across all platforms, IRL and online. Thank you very much. But man, the front row was loose at the 9 p.m. show. I walk on stage. I'm not joking. There's a video of it. We're going to post it. I walk on stage. There's only maybe 6 people per row. 6 people in the front row. It's quite a long, narrow room. So like it's not very wide, but it goes all the way to the back, right? There's 6 people in the front row. Because there's a speaker and stuff each side, so it's hard to squeeze people in the front. And there's 17 drinks on the stage. Like they're using my stage as a cup rest, which wasn't implied. No. There was no signs that said, dump your alcoholism here. Nah. They were just like, oh, where am I going to put it? Fuck Luke. Fuck the show. We'll just line up his stage. 17 drinks between 6 people. They're almost averaging 3 each. And one person wasn't drinking. So Adelaide, you're a bunch of loose units. It was a loose show. And it was one of those shows where just people just like spending a lot of time getting up to and from the bar. Yeah, with a complete disregard for my act. I've worked on this for a year and they're like, oh, but I've got to get another Bundy and Coke. My bad, dude. And they just squeal, sorry. This guy just went past. He's like 6'2", which is, I'm only 6 foot. So it's like, I'm not going to, I know my place. Or maybe it's like 6'4". He was 6'2", but he had a beard, so he looked like he could have been in Game of Thrones. So I was like, I'm not gonna fuck with this man. He gets up, I'm mid joke. He walks a meter away from me, then he goes, "Sorry, brother," and then just keeps walking. Man, if he was 5'8", would have destroyed him. You know?
Yeah.
But you got to know your limitations. I'd already had one fall on the skateboard that weekend. I didn't need a king hit. You know, I was in Adelaide. You know, we've all known what happens to online comedians at the Rhino Room in Adelaide. I'm not mentioning names. I'm just saying, you know, we all know what can happen at a comedy show, mainly if you're in Rockhampton. But, you know, Adelaide is the Rockhampton of the South. So I was like, I'm just going to let this man go do what he needs to do, and I'm going to keep doing my little jokes. And that's what I did. And there were no confrontations. So it was great. And we went out, we did a little Patreon meetup as well with a couple of people in the Discord, which was cool. I am trying to do meetups in every place we go to. So yeah, if you're in like mainly major cities, I can't promise like a Wollongong or, you know, Newcastle one. I will see if there's a lot of interest, but I'll try and squeeze as many as I can. If you're in the Discord, we do meetups. We went out to a bar called the Crown and Anchor with a couple of people in the Discord. Now, the reason why I bring it up is because it was a very like metal, grungy type pub.
Yeah.
Pool vibe. Loved a beer. God, I sounded like such a dickhead at the bar. Man, they had Carlton Draft on tap with a blue sticker like over the tap that said Carlton Draft, and it wasn't the usual red and golden text branding that I'm used to in Victoria. And the guy looked at me like I was an alien. I go, "Hey, is that Carlton Draft?" And it says Carlton Draft on it, but it's just different branding to what I'm used to. I'm like, "Is that like normal Carlton Draft?" And he goes, "Yeah." "What do you mean?" And I go, "Well, I was like," and then I was so embarrassed that I panicked and I went, I'm not from here." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "In Melbourne, it's red." And he was just like, "Get the fuck out."
He's far from home.
Yeah. He was just like, this man is lost in many ways. And so then I went into piss at the toilets, and the urinal is just bombarded with band stickers, and some of which featured QR codes that linked to the band's Spotify or Bandcamp or whatever platform they're trying to sell their music on. So every single time I went into piss, I was doing a new metal band on my QR code and then just listening to it as I pissed. And it was like they always had like less than 1,000 views, and it was just like in my ear. I couldn't hear shit. It was just fucking screamo and drums, and I'm not even going to call it guitar. It was just noise, right? It was like white noise, but not the Living End song. Just fucked static in my head. And then by the second or third trip, I started to get all the lads in the toilet around it. You know, there was a couple of random guys pissing. I'm like, "Boys, check this shit out, QR codes." And I guess when you're drunk in a pub and you're already on your phone, a lot of people are like, "Oh, fuck yeah." Dude, these bands, all their plays must just happen in this one toilet.
Yeah, I reckon.
Like all the toilets that they play gigs at. Just people putting there going, "What the fuck is this?" And it's meant the QR codes are back. I mean, I had a theory on Luke and Lewis already that whoever invented QR codes started the virus. They got together with the guys who invented Zoom, and they were like, "Man, stocks are low. No one's using Zoom or QR codes. What are we going to do?" They were like, "What about a world pandemic?" And all of a sudden, everyone's like, "QR codes? Fuck yeah." I remember QR codes were like a joke for a bit. Like, I remember one time, I didn't even know no one really knew what they were. One time in high school, for like some kind of school band sign up or something, there was a QR code in front of the music classroom. And everyone's like, "How do I sign up? Like, where's the form?" And everyone's like, and then the teacher was like, "Use the QR code." Everyone's like, What do you mean? What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And then like, you open your camera, and I was like, I remember being at the time like, I didn't even want to sign up for the band. I just wanted to know what a QR code was, you know? But yeah, now all of a sudden, dude, QR codes are the bomb diggity. Adelaide was really forcing everyone to do it. Venues in Melbourne don't make you check in anymore. They've just given up. But Adelaide's still got an aura of like, we haven't had it yet and we don't want to fuck off, you know? So Now, I have been talking about Adelaide for a while. Oh, okay, before we move on. Dude, the guy in the front row who was responsible for about 7 of the 17 beers or drinks on the row, he didn't know me. He was there with some girl. He was, he wasn't, he just came, was like, oh, comedy show, fuck, And he sat in the front row. Man, he was from rural South Australia. We're talking goatee down to here, like Ned Kelly-esque. Not beard, like Ned Kelly, if, less into bush rangering, more into king hits kind of thing. And I think what did I say? I said, dude, he said something and I said, shut the fuck up. You literally look like the bassist from Limp Bizkit, which was a hot slam. And I forced the guy to stand up and turn around so everyone in the room could laugh at his face, which I still maintain is hilarious. Nothing like going, I've made a hot slam at your face, but he was right at the front so no one else could see. Then it got 2 laughs because everyone laughed when I said it, going, oh, that's a pretty good call. And then when the guy stood up, turned around, everyone pissed himself going, fuck, he was spot on. And then, dude, at one point of the show, he like heckles. He says something weird and shit. And like the room, those heckles, I don't know if many people who see my shows haven't seen comedy before, but occasionally like someone will heckle and the room would just like go, wait, what? And it would just be like this murmur of silence and confusion over the crowd. He just said something like that. It completely ruined the flow of the joke. Everyone was really into it. And then he's like, and then everyone like, wait, what? And I was like, what? And it just fucked the show. So I was so angry in that moment. And I just couldn't think of anything funny to say. And I looked dead in this guy's eyes who had this filthy beard. And I just went, dude, you have a dirty face. Why are you talking? Just said to some guy who I didn't know that he had a dirty face. Only like 10 people laugh out of like 150 people. And I just want to maintain, though I thought the crowd was wrong there.
Yeah.
Personally, I think you were one of the 10.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm now scared.
You were just going, not your best, Luke, but not your worst. Just saying some guy you have a dirty face, I think, is pretty fucking funny. One of the most least creative slams I've ever come up with. You know what? Just that's what I wanted in that moment. Get the straw, dude. Suck my butt. But yeah. So that was good. And I have a Luke. I'm Luke. You're Reese. Reese, yeah. And the listeners of the Luke Kidgell Hour. I have a sock update for you all. If you didn't listen to last week's podcast, oh no, my phone's out there.
Would you like me to go get it?
Yeah, I don't know if you know where it is. I'll go get it. You know what? In the time we're gone, just right. We're not pausing.
Yep.
Put in the gorilla eating an apple.
Okay.
While I run out and get my phone.
Yeah, cool.
So it's like 30 seconds of a gorilla eating an apple because we kind of need to fill the time of the hour. All right. So I'll head off. Gorilla eating an apple now. Oh, fuck. I rolled my ankle.
Oh, no.
On the way back. I tried to jump over the couch with too much pace. Oh, okay. Hope you enjoyed the gorilla eating an apple. A little bit rude to put it in the middle of the podcast, but guys, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So last week I brought up in the show that I got a request from an Instagram account regarding it just said 4 words: sell your used socks. And I have a personal rule, which is never turn down a free buck. Chase the bag. That's my life motto. So I replied back with I left it sitting there for 2 days from what it seems of the dates. So I didn't jump to replying.
Yeah.
But after much consideration, I went, how much for? What's the going rate for used socks? They came back with $30 a pair. Thought that was a bit cheap. Then I didn't reply for about a week again. And then they kept messaging me going, plus cash for express shipping. So they want them stanky and en route quick so they don't lose their stink. Then you down, sir, then please. And I've ignored this for about a week. Then we're at the airport the other night. This is where the saga continues. For those who weren't who were playing along from last week's episode, I did discuss this on Luke and Lewis, but just to recap on this podcast, they went please with a sad face. Oh, I want your stinky socks. Oh, and I was like, you know what? I got some foot stink. You know, I'm not gonna come in here and pretending my shit don't stink, and I'm not gonna stand here and pretend like my feet don't stink. Okay, so I was like, you know what? I don't have a use for my foot stank, but this guy does. So I've gone $100, highballed him. Right? This is, I'll be honest, we were pretty bored at the airport, and then he goes, for a pair of sweaty socks, ? Laughing face emoji. He's laughed me out of the room with $100. Now, Lewis thought that was too cheap. What do you think? Do you think I'm a cheap whore?
I reckon.
Yeah. Do you think I'm selling myself?
Maybe the 150.
150. Yeah. Okay. Is that what your going rate for your sock would be? Well, I came back with. So he goes for a pair of sweaty socks, laughed me out of the room. So I came back with the second highball. I go, I can drench him for 150. Right? Then he goes 70. So he's laughed me out of the room at 100. This is what confused me. He's gone 70 winky face. Like as if 100's crazy, but 70. I'm like, mate, don't judge me. All right, you're the one wanting me to send my socks. I'm just here playing ball and I'll be honest, having a chuckle with my friends at the airport. If we're really going to be honest. Then so I come back with, you have yourself a deal, sir. Which now, so that they've gone, yes, sir. How many days wearing will they take to stink? I didn't realize I had to wear them for multiple days. Like that seems dirty on my part now. I should have upped it to 80, you know? And I said, I don't remember replying with this. I said, how stanky do you want them? Yeah, very. And then they've said where they're from, and they said that they're going to travel across the country and still smell. So this is not a joke offer, by the way. This count as plagued with foot fetish photos. So I went and bought some socks yesterday. I was with Reese and I ducked into Kmart. Did I feel dirty? 100%. Yes, of course.
When you were walking out, I was just looking at you thinking, that's my boss.
Mate, you got to get paid somehow, you know? Reese is there. I don't know why you're complaining, mate. That money's just going to go into your pocket, you know?
Great.
So I'm not going to edit the podcast, so I got to earn the money, you know? I like that I'm not willing to edit my own podcast, but I am willing to sell my socks to a stranger. It really shows a lot about how I value my time. I'm like too busy to do editing, but free enough to go to the post office. So yeah, I haven't sent them off yet. I might send these ones, stink them up.
Yeah.
There you go. That was a little teaser for the guy. So yeah, a bit of an update. Here's the problem. I do have stanky feet, yes, but the problem is I've also got cold feet. When everyone's egging you on and all your mates are like, "This is funny," it's funny.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you're alone, sitting next to socks you bought just to stink up for a stranger, it really sets in. But I got a bunch of messages from last week, which I'd like to read out regarding if I should send the socks or not. This one came from Oscar on the DMs. Hey, Luke, love the podcast. I think you should sell the sock. Just one and charge extra for a pair. Discount for 2 socks. He goes, then if the person agrees, demand that they take a picture with them so you could show the world. P.S. I don't want your dirty socks though. So it's good. He just wanted to throw that out. I got a really long DM. Maybe it was on my actual one. Someone sent me like an essay as to why I should sell my sock. Okay. So he goes, look. So this guy sent a freaking paragraph, right? I'll summarize it. But he goes, He goes, you missed a pretty important pro here. I doubt you paid $30 for a pair of socks. I'm aware of the upsell here. I know socks aren't worth $30, but it's the kink. This is what Lewis said on Luke and Lewis as well, and I think it's a very important thing to acknowledge. If you have a weird kink, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, if you're into weird stuff, it's going to cost you because it's niche. You know, I'm providing a niche service here. You know, because Devlin looked up, we didn't really tell him to, but we were discussing what used panties are worth. Like how sex workers on their OnlyFans and stuff will sell used underwear. We thought it would be like $100, $20 to $30 a pair. They just wear them for a day, sell them to creepy dudes or whatever, whatever you're into, you know? And I thought that was cheap. So I'm thinking I'm getting a great deal for used socks. But again, used panties, not as niche as dirty socks.
Yeah.
So I think you got to pay a premium for the dirty socks. So I think I'm pretty happy with the 70 plus express shipping. And he goes, now that's a profit and a pro. And the con, definitely that they made jacket to your sock. But how bad is that really? I'll be honest, as sick as this sounds, I have thought about this morally, and again, and maybe this is because I'm desensitized to gross stuff at this point, being a comedian, but that makes me laugh. It is pretty fucked. I spoke to my brother about it, and I thought he'd be against it because he was there over the weekend, and it came up, and I thought my brother would be like, "Don't send someone your fucking socks." He was like, "Dude, free money." Of course do it. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought I really was going to him to talk me out of it. And he was like, no way. Definitely do it. This is the problem. No one has told me not to do it.
Yeah.
And I will easily bow to peer pressure. So, yeah, I guess we go to the post office after this. And then, then he said, what if there's a niche market for this? This is from Michael, by the way. He goes, I'm sure someone else has asked you for your socks since you posted this. Nah, no one else wants them. What about in your next merch drop, you just sell your used clothes? And then we just sell like used socks and people get that white boy drip was Michael's idea. So, yeah, a few good suggestions coming in. Appreciate the support. I'll let you know what happens next week. We'll do another sock update. And I guess next week you'll know if the sock has been sent or not. We'll have an answer for you. But that's where we ended it today. Now, before we move into, we're 47 minutes in, but before we move into some other content, I do want to do just a weed war update. It's winter time, and wasn't planning on doing this episode, but we were planning the episode. Had the whiteboard in my hands that I write all my dot points on, and I looked out the window to my left, and there is a sea of green out there. Embarrassing. They're crawling under the fence. Wintertime is upon us, and the weeds are back in full force. They've really regrouped over autumn and heading into winter. It's June 1st. I reckon they'll just go full frontal. I reckon they're only sending out like the just the cavalry troops. Yeah. They've still got archers. They're all their main troops behind fortified walls at the moment, which is the ground. So I'm worried about what's to come on their attack, and I do just want to know, people, that Weed War 2 this winter may be upon us. I'm just warning you early, and I want to warn anyone else who has a similar backyard, lives in Australia with the same seasonal problems that I have to deal with. Get ready, stock up on your poison, and brace yourself for war, because the weeds are coming, and they're not fucking around this winter. And I've literally just written, my note on the board was weeds, fuck. That's how scared I am. That I just didn't even know what to say about this. I just went, shit. So that's all. Just a warning, all right? And if any weeds listen to this for insider knowledge, I see ya. You're not subtle. You're green, all right? And you're going to be brown soon and in the bin, all right? Because I don't negotiate with terrorists. So, good. I reckon that's about 50% of our listenership is just weeds trying to get intel on me. of how they can take over my backyard. But yeah, so in Adelaide after the show, got given a gift. Well, the podcast actually got given a gift. We all did, from Laura, who's a listener of the Luke Kidgell Hour. What I'm holding here for audio listeners is a jar that says the Luke Kidgell Hour emergency content. As we all know, and as we just experienced, there's been a pattern of me subbing in animal ASMR instead of ideas, thoughts, and content. Now, some people love it. Other people hate it. Very divisive after the show. Some people come up to me going, mate, love the animal ASMR, keep it coming. And people send them in. You know, we got sent the, who sent in, I think it was an email account called Man Animals.
Yeah,
sent in the gorilla eating an apple on the email. Keep sending them in. But Laura, very fond of the podcast. She left a lovely note, which was very nice, thanking us for our work during 2020. Calling this work is very generous, so I appreciate that, Laura. And she's made a jar full of little ideas. We'll do one, but just to give you an example. All right, we'll pick out one now, but this is only in the future to be used at the end of the podcast if we run out of content, and we just dip, a little lucky dip, and we pull out an idea. This one I've just pulled out is, what is the most challenging project you've worked on? It's probably the weed war last year. I reckon it took me 4 hours. I fucking hated it. Yeah. Oh, a few weeks actually, and a lot of complaining. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. I probably will in future we'll have to expand on them more because that didn't kill that much time. Otherwise we'll breeze through the ideas.
Yeah.
But I think we could probably top up these with our own ideas, or maybe at a show one day we do like a drive, you know, where we get ideas. We collect ideas in a hat.
Yeah.
Maybe we do that.
Yeah.
Maybe we mark one show of the tour where we, or maybe no, I'm not taking this around the country with me. Maybe just like if you have an idea to be added to the hat, Reese is gonna hate this. Come up to Reese at a show and hand him the idea on a little piece of paper. And you can write it down with it can just be handwritten. Doesn't matter. It can be, you know, a post-it note. Hand him your ideas, and Reese's job is to bring them home from in-state and archive them. We'll put them in the jar. Because we will run out of ideas, because I've already breezed through what is the most challenging project you've worked on. The real answer would be probably my comedy special, but the weed war was also pretty fucked. So one of the two. It was definitely the comedy special. And if you want to find out more about the behind the scenes of how we made it, there is a video. It's like an 18-minute video on my channel, like a bit of a behind the scenes documentary. I think it's called What You Didn't See or something like that. I don't know. Just look up Luke Kidgell comedy special and it'll come up. We'll put that in the used idea folder, aka the bin. Thank you, Laura. That's great. And hopefully we don't have to use that today, because I do have other stuff to talk about.
7.5.
Oh, mate, easy, right? Well, not easy, actually. I have got, I don't know who needs to hear this.
Yeah.
Well, we got sent some emails. I don't have them up, but, I can get them up. So this is a segment, if you don't know, targeted at small groups of society, where pretty much just calling people out for unpopular behavior in other people's eyes. And it usually goes along the lines of, for example, here's one. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're white, black, and furry, and people are paying $40 to see you, fucking move. And don't look like a rug. Now, I don't know who needs to hear that, but if that applies to you, Wang Wang, and Fooney, all right, then fix it, right? And that's a great example of the segment. Okay, so these ones come in. Oh, no, I didn't get it up. I was supposed to be stalling then when getting up. Okay, I've got it up. First one comes in from Nick. I'm pretty sure I've already had this one, or have I just read it?
It's been there for ages.
Okay. Hey, boys. Oh, I feel like someone else has already sent this in. Hey, boys. I don't know who needs to hear this, but working at Macca's isn't a personality. I feel like we've had this one before.
No?
No. A lot of people end them with insert whatever job and then end it with is not a personality. I agree. And this is why I think I've talked about this, because I've talked about how, maybe I haven't, maybe I've just had these thoughts and never aired it. But you know what I hate is on TikTok, you find yourself in these weird communities. There's like Woolies worker TikTok. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah, they all like post stuff like it's only relatable to people who work at Woolworths Australia wide. It's like just Woolworths things. It's your job. It's your part-time job. And if it's your full-time job, shh. We don't need the rest of us don't need to know about scanning barcodes and what it's like to work behind the scenes in produce. All right? Don't make it. I agree with Nick. People who make their 15-year-old part-time job their personality outside of the job, you know, have a laugh at work, have some in-jokes. Oh, we all understand this. Great. Don't put it on the internet. We don't care. You know, at not one point was I like, you know, I used to talk about it, I guess, but I wasn't like, man, I'm a range boy assistant. I pick up golf balls on a driving range. I was never like, that's my identity. No, I was desperately trying to do anything else with my life. And I was pretty embarrassed about it. I thought it was funny that that's what I did as a job because it was fucking easy, but I was never like, man, I want people to know this about me. So yeah, I agree with you, Nick. He goes, you know the ones. I understand why, he's pretty angry about it. I understand why people work at Macca's, and I understand it's a great job for high school students, but for fuck's sake, I get it. You cook nuggets. Jeez, he's not happy. I shared around Luke's recent stand-up clip on Macca's. Oh, this is an old one. Yeah, it was a TikTok, me just trashing some girl who said she was a barista, and then we found out later on, I think, that she worked at Mick Cafe, you know, which is kind of like, I don't know, saying you direct movies, but like you've really directed an ad on Channel 31. You know, it's like, well, you held a camera, but did you really direct something? He goes, the reactions in the group chat were ridiculous. It was like I was getting cancelled amongst my friendship group. So they weren't a big fan of me saying that Macca's, being a barista at Macca's, wasn't a real barista. I forget what I said. I remember it was very funny and true though. He goes, I can't really talk because I work at Subway, but at least I know my place. Yeah, well, you did. I was gonna say you didn't really have to mention it, but yeah, right. Well, I agree with you, Nick. Yeah, shut up. If you work at Macca's, just flip my burger, bro. You know, and get the fuck out of there as quickly as possible. Hey, jeez, I know people are gonna get angry at that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be someone like, but I like cooking, and that's fine. Just shh. Great. Nick, from a different Nick. Hey lads, I don't know who needs to hear this, but use your fucking legs and walk up the escalator. Ooh, bit ableist. God, don't know about that, Nick. I've had it up to here. Holds up hand really high is in brackets. So he's had up to bloody here, guys, with these lazy bums just standing in front of me while the escalator slowly carries us. I don't care if you're old and frail. Make an effort, you slug. Whoa, I agree. I hate standing behind people. If you're gonna stand on the escalator, do it on the left, right? And let people walk up beside you on the right. Some of us have places to be. Dude, Parliament Station in Melbourne has the longest escalator of all time. If you get stuck behind some bloke just spreading his shit on the escalator, it can take 3 minutes to get up that escalator. Yeah. I'm at the point now where I'll just tap people and shout, excuse me. Yeah. I have things to do. I'm not just going to wait around all day so you can spread your shit on this escalator. I love walking up escalators anyway because it makes you feel insanely fast. You're like walking at a normal pace, but you're like zooming up. If that's not the best feeling in the world, whatever. That's why I love the horizontal version. Travelators at the airport make me moist. There, I said it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Travelators are the best things about traveling. Dude, imagine if they made them for all. I can't wait till they make highways that are like on a conveyor belt, you know, and the highways are going at 20 kilometers an hour, and it's very dangerous. And then you drive over it at 100 kilometers an hour. All of a sudden, you go on 120. I think that's how it works. I don't know if it's just addition, but or if it, you know, I don't know how how speed works. But yeah, it's kind of like freeways. Stay on the left if you're going slow and let everyone else who's in a rush go past you on the right.
Got a minute.
Minute left?
Yep.
Right, well, we've got one more. I don't know who needs to hear this. This one comes in from Michael. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the mullet has had its day in the sun. And then some more. It's over. I get it. Oh no, he goes, let it go. Leave it behind. There are Woolies employees who are now allowed to have mullets. This is not on. I don't know what they're trying to prove, but all it does is prove bogan status. Rant over. Best of luck with the tour, Michael. Michael, I fair enough. We're all entitled to our opinions on this podcast, but I don't hate the mullet. I think it's dirty. I didn't like it on myself, but when I see like just some 16-year-old ratty kid with a mullet, I just go, at least he knows who he is. At least he knows that he's a bit shit. You know, and you can tell that from his upper neck and sometimes lower neck, depending on how impressive the mullet is. That's the end of the podcast. We're out. Rant over. Sorry, guys. If you got a mullet, you got off bloody lightly there. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, no animal. Oh, we did have a bit of animal.
Yeah, we had 30
ASMR,
seconds.
But no need to break the emergency content. That's the end of the hour. Hang on. What's the? Hang on.
Kelsey.
Ooh, a button.
Oh, because it's a button. Because I press a button.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got it. At the start, I was so confused.
Oh, you didn't hit a button bit. No.
No, I heard it. I'm an idiot. Anyway, guys, LukeKidgell.com. But for tickets, keep sending in your buzzers. And yeah, email the show anytime, LukeKidgellPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening. Albury and Wagga are coming up. And the New South Wales Let's Sell Out Sydney. If you're in Sydney, haven't got your tickets, let's sell that shit out. I'd love to see you there. Bye.
Somewhere on the sea. It got a little longer, so it seems. I burned out, so to speak.